Chief Executive John Lee departs to Qatar and Kuwait in a bid to promote Hong Kong. Beijing's top man on Macau affairs Xia Baolong continues with his trip in the gaming hub, having tea chats with local elderly. And the conflict between India and Pakistan escalates sharply, with both targeting each other's military installations. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Quentin Yang. Leading a 50-strong delegation of officials and business leaders, Chief Executive John Lee departed to Qatar and Kuwait, marking his ongoing efforts to boost economic collaboration with the Gulf countries and positioning the city as a premier destination for Muslim travelers. The delegation will make their first stop in Qatar and will then switch to Kuwait day after tomorrow.
In a pre-departure social media post, Lee emphasized the enormous potential of Middle Eastern and ASEAN markets, particularly as key sources of Muslim visitors. To capitalize on this, Hong Kong has increased its certified halal restaurants from 100 to over 170 since early 2024, while 61 hotels and 5 major attractions now hold Muslim-friendly certifications. The city will continue improving tourism facilities and promoting its vibrant culture and cuisine to attract more Muslim visitors, Lee said, referencing his policy pledge to enhance hospitality infrastructure. While the city leader's agenda prioritizes trade, innovation, and cultural partnerships, parallel efforts led by Invest HK's Director General Alpha Law will tap into Belt and Road countries, including Turkey, Hungary, and Egypt, later this month, to promote Hong Kong as a gateway for regional businesses expanding into mainland and Asia-Pacific markets.
Continuing his third-day visit in Macau, Beijing's point man on Hong Kong and Macau affairs, Xia Baolong, stopped by a government apartment for senior citizens and conducted an offshore inspection of the proposed integrated tourism and cultural districts. Evelyn Bai has the story.
At around 8 a.m., Xia, director of the Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office, visited a government elderly housing, accompanied by Macau Chief Executive Sam Ho Fai. Xia had a tea chat with the local elderly for over an hour. Ho Ting-yet, a standing member of the All China Women's Federation who participated in the tea gathering, said Xia's arrival has impressed everyone, and he conveyed President Xi Jinping's concern and care for the people of Macau, emphasizing once again that Macau is cherished by the motherland like a pearl on the palm. Ng Si Ming, honorary president of the General Union of Neighborhood Associations of Macau, cited Xia's words saying that Macau residents and people from various sectors should unite, work together, and have a sense of crisis, overseeing a bright and promising future for the city. Xia then proceeded to visit Amma Temple before boarding a new rescue vessel from the Macau Customs to inspect the integrated tourism and cultural districts and the customs enforcement operations. Later in the day, Xia visited the Macau Tower and Giant Panda Pavilion, learning about the condition of Kai Kai and Xing Xing, 2 giant pandas gifted by the central government. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
In Hong Kong, Chief Secretary Eric Chen highlighted that the Interdepartmental Working Group for Crowd Control Measures has proven effective during the Labor Day Golden Week holiday, when Hong Kong welcomed an overwhelming number of visitors. Evelyn Bai has more details.
During the 5-day holiday, the city received over 1.1 million visitors, a 22% jump over the same period last year, far surpassing the originally expected 10% year-on-year rise. Taking to the airwaves, Chen said the cross-departmental working group he led has enhanced transportation at estimated crowded places. He gave the example of the High Island Reservoir East Dam, where only 4 minibuses operate on a single route on normal days, with a 20-minute ride. During the holiday, the government deployed 30 minibuses to handle the surge in visitors. Addressing the more than 90% hotel occupancy rates, Chen said the government has communicated with the hospitality sector beforehand to avoid sudden price hikes, and most hotels complied. Chen also put himself in the shoes of young backpackers who spend their nights at McDonald's during the holidays, as he would not stay in a luxury hotel on the mainland when he was a student. We welcome all kinds of tourists to experience, whether they are low-budget or high-spending visitors. The most important thing is that Hong Kong must orderly and be ready to accommodate them, Chen added. When asked whether the SAR government will seek further expansion of the multiple entry visa scheme to more mainland cities, Chen said they continue to communicate closely with mainland authorities and hope for more visa facilitation at an appropriate time. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
With around $15 million owed in unpaid wages, two founders of the recently collapsed kanji chain Ocean Empire Food Shop have broken their silence, stating that the company's liquidation will follow proper procedures, and they have talked with the Labor Department to prioritize salary payments after mounting accusations that they had irresponsibly referring workers to labor authorities to claim unpaid wages from a government fund. Meanwhile, Secretary for Labor and Welfare Chris Sun has assured that both local and imported workers will be treated equally when reclaiming lost wages. Jeremy Zhu reports.
Taking to the airwaves, Sun revealed that nearly 100 employees have sought help, including 19 imported workers. He stressed that under the SAR's labor laws, all workers, regardless of origin, will have their rights protected. He said the government's protection of wages on insolvency fund can cover the claims. With most employees owed around 1 month's salary, they can apply for up to $80,000. Payments are typically processed within 3 months. However, Sun warned that the fund is not an ATM machine and authorities will crack down on abuse. For imported workers whose visas will expire, they would only be able to stay in Hong Kong for 2 more weeks. To assist the wage claiming process, the government will provide subsidies of $350 daily for accommodation or 70% of lodging costs and $100 daily for meals and transport. If workers need to return to Hong Kong to complete claims, special arrangements will be made, Sun said. The labor chief emphasized that while fair treatment for imported labor is crucial, public funds must be used responsibly. He also warned that employers caught illegally transferring assets to avoid wage payments will face police investigation. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Movie fans in the city made the most of the annual Cinema Day, flocking to cinemas to enjoy movies with their $30 tickets.
Popular and newly released movies sold out most screenings at a cinema in Kowloon Bay, with many residents coming to redeem their tickets that they have snapped up 4 days earlier on site and online. During the Cinema Day, which is organized by the Hong Kong Theatres Association, all movie tickets were sold for just $30 each, even for VIP offerings. This man only learned about the discount after he arrived at the cinema. Despite failing to book several different movies, he was happy to see so many people come to watch movies, signaling the film industry is doing well. This man said he came to watch a movie he normally would not enjoy only because of this ticket promotion. Otherwise, he would just pick some movies with good reputation.
The hospital authority has urgently suspended a batch of contaminated throat swabs after 18 out of 100 samples tested weakly positive for COVID-19, raising concerns over false diagnosis.
The swabs, procured from a local supplier, were distributed to 5 public hospitals under the Kowloon West cluster between January and April, with approximately 27,000 units already used. 2 patients at Princess Margaret Hospital and Yan Chai Hospital initially tested positive using the tainted swabs but later tested negative in follow-up screenings. Both individuals have since been discharged. VHA attributed the contamination to the swab sealed packaging, suggesting the issue likely occurred before delivery to hospitals. Authorities have reported the incident to the Department of Health and vowed to seriously follow up, including potential legal action against the supplier. While no additional cases have been identified, the HA emphasized rigorous quality checks for future procurements.
U.S. President Donald Trump has suggested that tariffs on Chinese imports could be reduced to 80%, but stressed that Washington must secure the most favorable deal for American interests. This comes as the two-day high-level trade talks between Vice Premier He Lifeng and the U.S. Treasury Secretary commenced in Geneva, Switzerland at 10 a.m. local time today, the first time since the trade war began earlier this year. Jeremy Zhu has more details.
Ahead of the negotiations, Trump revealed he had given Treasury Secretary Bessent revised instructions regarding the minimum acceptable tariff levels, though he declined to provide specific details.
Have you given Bessent a number of how low you're willing to go?
Yeah, I am.
What's the number? Share that number?
No. But I put out a number today, 80%, so we'll see how that all works.
Emphasizing any agreement must put America first, Trump urged Beijing to liberalize its markets, claiming mutual benefits. The White House later specified the 80% proposal reflected Trump's bargaining position, ruling out unilateral reductions without Chinese concessions. According to the Wall Street Journal, China's Public Security Minister Wang Xiaohong, who has recently discussed with U.S. officials regarding the fentanyl issue, will also participate in the Swiss meetings, signaling the significance of the drug subject. Beijing sources indicate Chinese officials are motivated to restart talks by three key concerns: the economic toll of ongoing tariffs, potential isolation as U.S. allies negotiate separate deals, and perceived moderation in Washington's stance. Meanwhile, the Commerce Ministry in Beijing previously acknowledged the talks are to address global stability needs and domestic interests, while reiterating opposition to excessive U.S. tariffs. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
The week-long confrontation between India and Pakistan escalated further today as Islamabad launched a major military operation in retaliation to what it claimed as Indian strikes on its military bases overnight. Meanwhile, world major powers are calling for restraint while offering mediation. Best Learn reports.
Wait for our response.
Loud explosions were reported near strategic locations in India this morning, with Pakistan claiming to have hit multiple critical military bases, including a brigade headquarters. The crisis erupted after India struck Pakistan's Noor Khan Air Base just 10 kilometers away from capital Islamabad, as well as two other air bases early this morning. Islamabad immediately fought back hours later as India claimed it intercepted several drones while accusing its neighbor of blatantly endangering civilians and religious sites. Casualty figures remain contested, with Pakistan claiming 13 civilian deaths from Indian strikes since last night, while India reported at least one civilian fatalities. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif convened a meeting of the National Command Authority, which oversees nuclear assets, though officials later emphasized a preference for diplomatic solutions. India, meanwhile, vowed to dwarf enemy conspiracies and activated reserve forces near the border. Global powers urgently called for restraint. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio had spoken with both countries' foreign ministers and offered to mediate in the escalating conflict. Meanwhile, China said it is deeply concerned and vowed to play a constructive role in de-escalation. Best Learn, Cable News.
Onto the weather now. It will be mainly cloudy with showers and a few squally thunderstorms at first. Temperatures will fall progressively to a minimum of about 19 degrees on Mother's Day morning. As showers ease off gradually during the day tomorrow, expect some dry and bright periods in the afternoon. The maximum temperature will be around 25 degrees. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. And that's our news tonight. I'm Quentin Yang. Thank you for watching. Good night.